Now, New York, not a city perhaps you'd describe as honky-tonk, but our next guest has made waves in the world of bluegrass with his banjo picking, jazz-infused and rock-inspired music. Eclectic to say the least.
Yes, indeed. And this weekend, for the second year running, native New Yorker and Martini cowboy Jack Grace will be headlining at the Guinness International Bluegrass Festival in Dunmore East. And Jack joins us this morning. Good morning to you, Jack.
Good morning, Sinead. How are you?
Very well. So you loved it so much last year, you decided to come back.
I had a fantastic time. I couldn't wait to come back, actually. Yeah. It's great to be back here at Ireland AM, too.
Yeah,
thank you very much for coming back here.
You went down a storm last year. We heard fans absolutely loved you.
We had a really great time. We overcame the rain and just showed that music will persevere whether there's rain or not, as long as there's a roof, so no one gets electrocuted.
Now, you are not picky about who you play to, but you like certain types of crowds, which is why you've spent so much of your time in New York, because you love the New Yorkers, you love the support they show you. Was it a similar thing here? Did you like the way that the fans got involved? I
don't want to get in trouble with my New Yorkers, but I think I had even more fun here.
You can only say that because you know no one back home will be seeing it, Jack.
Although they start, the fans from, we have some rabid fans, they'll be watching this on YouTube and whatnot. Oh, yes, absolutely. So I'm sorry, but, you know, it's pretty fun in Ireland. It's a great crowd. You know, people really listen to lyrics more, I think, particularly, and they really respect original music here. People like when you do something original in Ireland, and that's very inspiring for me.
They also appreciate the craft of a good song.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're storytellers. By birth in this country. I think everybody loves a good yarn.
Yeah.
When it converts to a tune, it's even better. Tell us about then some early influences for you, because bluegrass has got such a history going back through the ages.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm one of those people that I think that pretty much as soon as I like something, I then take it and make it my own. In fact, I have a banjo player that'll be sitting, and he was my guitar teacher when I was 18. And he said, he was one of my influences, and he said, you're never going to learn anything completely. You're always going to learn it a little bit, and then just do whatever you want with it.
This Tom, is it?
Yeah, that's Tom.
Is Tom drinking some sort of juice that makes him look like 12? I mean, he's got this youthful looking face on him, isn't he?
We're just a few years apart, but I was a late bloomer. I started guitar when I was 18.
Yeah.
When you were 18?
Excellent.
Yeah. But Aid mentioned the word earlier on, eclectic. Your taste in music was very eclectic.
Oh, yeah.
And you mentioned Neil Young was one of the reasons why you wanted to play guitar, but 18 is kind of late to start guitar.
Sure. I was a sort of a theater major doing acting, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to do music. I couldn't be a
thesp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I had a great time just to immediately just delve into music and just kept going with it. And yeah, Neil Young, Merle Haggard was a big hero of mine, and Johnny Cash. There was an album that came out on American Recordings. That was the one that changed my direction, that said I'm going country music all the way.
I was going to ask you about that, because if you use Neil Young as a starting off point, you could quite easily go down the rock road.
Exactly, and I think it still shows in my music. We still have bass and drums in our music, so the rock is still there. And I haven't given it up, but it's, you know, you can grow old more gracefully with a more country edge. You know? You don't have to sing as high.
You mentioned Merle Haggard there. Didn't he sign one of your guitars?
He did. I had the honor of opening up for him, and he grabbed my guitar, this 1947 Gibson, and I said, I was wondering if you'd sign. He looks at it, he goes, oh, you don't want an old man like me signing a guitar like this? And I said, that's exactly what I like to do. And he pulls it away from me after I go to take it back, and he goes, hang on a second. I think I'll feel a few more songs in this one. Such a classic. Cool. He knew how to make the moment for me.
Yes.
And he gave me, not only did he let me open for him, but he gave me the story that I get to tell.
That's
a great story.
That's sweet.
I know what a Gibson is only because Mark, who would normally sit here, Mark's guitar mad, and he would be having big guitar chat with you right now if he was here.
The idea of country music. Good country, good bluegrass, absolutely brilliant. I suppose you could say this about any genre, but there's something about bad country that sets everybody off and does more damage to the brand, if you like.
Oh, absolutely does. And it makes a lot of people that don't like country say, oh, I can't stand country, because what they hear is insincere country music. If it oozes sincerity, everyone will end up liking it. That's my theory. And I'm holding to it.
And it's working for you, Jack, as well.
Well, you can feel the pain in the blues, can't you?
Same thing. The blues, if it doesn't have sincerity, who needs it? It's a very simple music, you know, without that.
And is it, Aidan mentioned the pain there. I mean, for a lot of country, it is, you know, heartbreak and loneliness and all of the terrible things that happen. Is that your bent? Is it the sadness that gives you your power? Or?
And I think like my everybody finds their own angle. I think my angle has always been like the beauty of sadness, you know, and the glory of going through a rough time with dignity, and, you know, seeing that there is a lot of beauty in that, so that you can appreciate, because if you're happy all the time,
Yeah, you don't know any.
How do you know?
You need darkness to appreciate the light.
You know,
exactly.
highs and lows. Super Troopers then, that was a nice little breakthrough.
That's been a great perk for me. That was a movie that I just sort of stepped into, and it keeps playing internationally everywhere, so it's been a real help for me, let's just say. You know,
you discovered the world of the royalty checks.
The royalty checks started coming in from there, and that makes things a lot easier for me. Yeah.
Also, you seem to have great ease with bonding with musicians from particularly the 60s and 70s. Well, I suppose it's that area you know well. Sebastian Lowe's quite a catch.
Yeah, it was John Sebastian that was from 11 Spoonful.
Yeah.
He played on the latest record, and then I've become very good friends with Johnny Cash's piano player Earl Pooh Ball, and we play together. And I actually had an interesting time with Earl Pooh Ball. He came on to a show with a baseball hat, and I said, Earl, you're an elder statesman of country. What are you doing in a baseball hat? So I took him to a hat store, and we went to this really nice hat store in New York. And he calls me up like a few weeks later. He's like, I really want to thank you for turning me on to hats. And then he sends me an email a week ago where he found a great hat store in Texas. He goes, be careful now, Jack. Envy is a very dangerous emotion. And they were gorgeous hats.
Which is good. While we have you, a lot of people from Ireland, when they go to New York, they stay in Manhattan. And they don't go out of Manhattan. So give us a quick snapshot of how good Brooklyn actually is. Because it's just down the bridge in 20 minutes.
Brooklyn is really, you know, I think it was about 5, 6 years ago that Manhattan filled up. There was no other place for the artists to go. Brooklyn is gigantic, so there's plenty of room still. I mean, even that's still having issues, but Brooklyn is really where the artist community mostly lives in New York now, and it's getting to be where even when people come as tourists, they'll go to Brooklyn sometimes instead of Manhattan. And there's starting to be hotels popping up all over Brooklyn.
It's very cool right now, Brooklyn, isn't it?
It is, and I think that's a good thing. I don't think it's cool in an insincere way. I think it's great.
It's naturally.
It's a lot of fun, and a lot of people being original, writing original music without trying to imitate
So
things.
who are you listening to at the moment? What are you turning on music-wise and being, hey, that's fantastic?
Oh, that's a good question. Who have I been listening to lately?
Or is the oldies still the best?
No, I think that just being, you know, writing your own stuff is the best, but...
what about Kings of Leon? They have a sort of a country band.
I think they're good. It's a really solid band. I mean, of course, I really like Radiohead. I think Radiohead's a very original band that I like. And there's definitely a lot of younger musicians all around. You know, I seem to always now have albums from people that have sold under 3,000 CDs. You know?
Hey, sometimes they're the best.
They can be.
Now here he is, the man who looks, well, 12 was probably a bit unfair, but that's that youthful look, certainly. Looking good, looking good.
Right.
Guys, you're going to give us a little sample of some of the stuff people can expect to hear from you at the festival, which takes place August 27th.
It starts August 27th and goes over the weekend at Dunmore East, and we're anticipating great weather and great times.
Don't anticipate great weather, anticipate great times. We've got the website there, and all of the gigs are free, which is the great thing about it.
That's right. And that's fun, and it's free.
Thanks to Guinness helping with the festival. They're able to keep it free, which is a great thing.
250 celebrations as well for Guinness, so it'll be a great weekend.
Here's to Arthur. Take it away, guys.
All right. This is a song from our new upcoming album coming out in January called Drinking Songs for Lovers. And this is called If You're Gonna Raise a Drunk.
The single.
You might as well do it right. All right. 2, 3, 4. Hard job. 'Cause if you're gonna raise a drunk, you might as well do it right. Teach him how to laugh and to always be polite. Make people smile and have a beautiful night. If you're gonna raise a drunk, you might as well do it right. Take off his shoes, know when to shut his mouth so it don't look like a fool. Oh yeah, it's a real hard job, a real hard job. And when the summer comes, I like that beer by my side, just to keep things moving along. A couple of Mai Tais and a cool black at that place with the dragon in front. I like that frozen margarita while fighting with the mariachi band.
somewhere in San Francisco, yeah. 'Cause if you're gonna raise a trump, you might as well do it right. Teach 'em how to laugh and always be polite. Make people smile and have a beautiful night. If you're gonna raise a drum, you might as well do it right.